Hello and welcome to Basingstoke Town Live. My name is Nick Wilson and we're almost ready for the final regular game of the season. We'll be keeping you up to date with all the scores around the league as goals go in. We'll start with our visitors South Park. In goal is number 1, Zach Basey. Number 2 is James McElligott. 3 is Sam Tutt. Number 4 is Ryan Healy. 5 is Matthew Faithorn, the South Park captain. 6 is Tom Drinkwater. 8 is Craig McGee. Number 9, Finley Johnson. 10 is Sam King. 11, Ben Jordan. And number 20 is Melford Simpson. For Basingstoke Town, it's Paul Strudley continuing in goal. There's a back four of Marcus Johnson-Schuster, Scott Armsworth, Billy Upton and Callum Winchcombe. Captain Simon Dunn, partners Ben Cook in one of the deeper roles in midfield, with DeAndre Brown pushing ahead of them both, flanked by George Reid and Paul Hodges, who's likely to start on the right with Brad Wilson as the central striker. Whatever happens today, it's been an incredible ride this season. Basingstoke have been fantastic. Two teams fully deserve to go up, but the way the league works is that only one can. The other will be subjected to the playoffs and the randomness and chance that can come into play there. 90 minutes of league football remains. Will it be Walton? Will it be Basingstoke to win the league? Events over at Thatcham will have just as much impact as those here this afternoon. The referee blows the whistle and we are underway for the final time in the regular season. Game 38. It's been 37 games of tit for tat between the two on the pitch. Basingstoke looking to have the final say. They keep the ball at the back for kick-off, and South Park happy to sit off them for the most part. Simon Dunn's going to try and put one in behind to George Reid, who's starting on the left as expected, with Paul Hodges over on the right and Brad Wilson through the middle. South Park clear it away and Paul Strudley will get his first touch as he comes to the left side of his box to collect the ball. Quick throw, underarm out to Scott Armsworth. South Park again happy to sit off the giant figure of Melford Simpson leading their line today. Callum Winchcombe on the ball for Basingstoke at left back. A long one early, looking for DeAndre Brown. It's beyond him, pushing forward again from midfield. Over the head of Faithorn and all the way through to Zach Basey, who claims the ball in the penalty spot and rolls it outside his box. They'll look for those long balls up to Melford Simpson. If he can get 5 or 6 extra yards by taking the ball outside his area, I'm sure he'd be happy to do so. Simpson the target for this ball. Scott Armsworth goes up, gets a touch with his head. Simpson hits the ground. It'll be kept in play on the left-hand touchline for South Park. Ben Jordan over there. He'll lay it back and it'll be an early ball again towards Simpson. Upton steps out of defence, clears it away. Brad Wilson will chase it. His second favourite for this. McElligott should be able to deal with it and plays it back to the keeper. Wilson continues the chase and Basey on the ball will go out to the left-hand side for South Park to start again from the back, threaded through midfield, just about avoiding the Basingstoke boots trying to get in the way, and long forward now, Armsworth covering at the back for Basingstoke, just turns and goes back to his keeper. Strudley on the byline, feeds it out to Armsworth again, super cool from the Basingstoke goalkeeper with 90 seconds into the game. No chances just yet. Upton on the ball for Basingstoke, left side of the central defensive partnership. He gets it back from Winchcombe. South Park again happy to sit off while Basingstoke are in that first third of the pitch, and they just go across from left to right. Calm on the ball, collected. Johnson-Schuster receives it, and as he gets to the halfway line, he's closed down and he'll move it inside again. And Basingstoke will look out towards the left now. Upton going forward. George Reid showing for the ball. Upton over the halfway line. Bends the ball out. Johnson-Schuster leaves it to Ben Cook, who's pulled wide to the flank to get on the ball. Hodges in front of him, his first touch, right-hand touchline, comes inside onto his left foot. The ball is on towards Reid, he nudges it short instead to Dunn and back to the right for Wilson, who's dropped off the front line, away from one man, up to the edge of the box he goes. A crowd of red shirts around him managed to get the ball off him by hook or by crook, and South Park will look to go on the counter early forward, and Upton gets it under control and finds Winchcombe. Well done by the defender. Westfield have taken an early lead away at Merstham. That's a big game in the relegation battle. Merstham still with a chance to keep themselves up entirely, but they're behind early on. At home to Westfield, the worst start for them, and good news for Sutton Common Rovers and for Bedfont. Merstham need a win and an Ashford loss away at Sutton Common Rovers to avoid the relegation playoff. There's Simon Dunn looking for Hodges, tried to flick it infield, didn't get the contact on it. It'll run away into the corner. Craig McGee collects for South Park under pressure, goes inside to Basey, who came wide to show for him. And Basey will send a long kick away. Doesn't manage to put that anywhere near Melford Simpson, and Strudley will come outside his box wide to the right-hand side to keep the ball in play and start another Basingstoke attack. 3 minutes on the clock, 0-0 the score here. 0-0 the score everywhere bar Merstham as it stands. Upton on the ball goes square to his partner at the back for Scott Armsworth. He will go right across now to the right-hand side. Johnson-Schuster pushing forward already. Ben Cook has gone wide with Hodges drifting inside, very fluid in the front line, front four for Basingstoke. Long ball towards George Reid, leans into it to get it under control, no handball given, but the ball bouncing off him and out for a goal kick. It was difficult for him. The ball was hit with plenty of pace. He was trying to lean forward to get his chest to the ball and get it under control, but unable to just get enough around the ball to keep it alive. And Zach Basey with his first goal kick for South Park this afternoon. Basey's going to launch this away. It's a long ball over the halfway line. Simpson the target. He's got Armsworth there with him. Wins the flick on. Upton covering it behind and Strudley's quickly out. Upton just sees it back to him. And rolled away towards Scott Armsworth on his right-hand side. Should some drop points this afternoon. That will guarantee Ashford's safety without them needing to do anything themselves. Basingstoke on the attack. Hodges over the halfway line on the run down the right. He's got DeAndre Brown in front of him. He's challenged and it's out. And Basingstoke have a throw in midway between the halfway line and the edge of the South Park box. It's thrown backwards to Armsworth. That's not going to go all the way through to him. He does really well to react quickly and get there. The ball just holding up slightly on the turf as it was thrown in his direction, averting an issue for Basingstoke by claiming the ball, and they'll work out to Ben Cook, left-hand side, just short of the halfway line. Again, pulling wide. Wilson on the run early. Cook sees it. He's going to go towards George Reid instead on the left. It's headed down towards Dunn. Nods it down, finds Reid. Corner of the box, left-hand side. Returns it for Simon Dunn. He couldn't quite get there. The ball just left a little bit short by Reid. Cleared away and a Basingstoke throw-in up by the South Park box. It's back towards Ben Cook, who will stroke it across the pitch. This is DeAndre Brown going square to Johnson Schuster. Had to stretch and the ball goes beyond him. A little bit of pressure on Brown, but it wasn't right under the cosh. The pass off target and a throw-in coming for South Park, now closer to the halfway line. 5.5 gone, still 0-0. South Park with this throw-in. They're looking down the line. Simpson's gone across as a target. It will go beyond him. Johnson Schuster holds him off, and a little bit of reaction between those two as the ball falls at the feet of Scott Armsworth. In front of that railway end, making as much noise as they can to push their team on to a victory and put the pressure on Walton away at Thatcham. Basingstoke work it back across the back line. Leatherhead 1, Binfield 0. That's one of the games with not much riding on it in terms of playoffs, promotion or relegation. Hodges is in trouble here. He's gone down, didn't get the free kick, and in the end the throw-in is going to be given South Park's way. He's not happy with the decision. Hodges, he thinks he should have had a free kick there, but the away side will have the throw-in just inside Basingstoke's half. Over goes the left-back Sam Tutt to take it. He's got options to throw short to Healy, but he has got Simpson again down the line. And Simpson battling with Johnson Schuster, wrestles his way in front of the Basingstoke man, but his touch is loose. It falls for Hodges. Hodges loses it. Simpson has it back wide on the South Park left, trying to roll away from Johnson Schuster, loses control of the ball. Cleared by Armsworth up to the halfway line. South Park will be able to start again with Basingstoke back all inside their own half. Played through Simpson the target, but the ball a couple of yards wide of him, and he's not able to get there. Bedford 1, Guernsey 0. Another big goal in the relegation battle. Southall 1, Chertsey 0. One of those mid-table matches. Strudley's going to have to retake a goal kick here. The ball's still moving. That goal for Bedfont is huge. They started the day 19th and in the last remaining direct relegation spot. As it stands now, goal difference has taken them up to 17th and into a playoff. They can't guarantee safety today, but they can make it a playoff rather than automatic relegation. Basingstoke on the attack. Reid chesting it down, looking for Dunn on the run. It won't quite make it to him, but Basingstoke buzzing around, trying to win a throw-in in the corner, and they've done that, putting McGilligot under a lot of pressure, and he's lost the ball. Basingstoke throwing high up the pitch. Northwood 1, Marlow 0. Northwood doing what they can to make it 4th place rather than 5th. Here's Simon Dunn from the throw-in, edge of the box, looks for Wilson. It'll come back to Hodges, and the ball pops up against his hand. It's very unfortunate, edge of the box as he looked to line up a shot on the half volley. The referee blows the play dead. South Park free kick on the edge of the area, very central. That goal for Northwood doesn't make a difference to Marlow in terms of where they finish, but it does mean that should Hamworth Villa go behind, those two will be 3rd and 4th and doing a dress rehearsal of the playoff semi-final. Basically to take this free kick for South Park. Long out towards Simpson again, out on the South Park left, challenged by Armsworth. Cook gets a touch on the second ball, and Upton will clear the ball up in the air, slice that, and it's out for a South Park throw-in. Now, if they want to go for the long throw and push the defenders forward, they could do from this position. It's up by the Basingstoke box. Faithorn is on his way. Drinkwater is going to join him as well now. And, of course, the significant target of Melford Simpson making his way to the near post. Basingstoke with some defending to do here as Ryan Healy prepares to launch a throw into the box. 8.5 minutes on the clock. Healy steps up to the touchline, launches it, just dropping short of Simpson. Upton gets his head to it first. It will go out wide again. Healy makes a mess of a first-time ball back into the box, only half cleared by Hodges though. Still alive for South Park. A heavy pass will send it out wide, and the ball into the box from deep will go right through, and the flag is up for offside as Strudley sees it out for a goal kick. The flag going up against Finley Johnson there. And Basingstoke will have a free kick just outside the 6-yard box in the end, and Strudley will be quick to give it to Armsworth. Space on the left if he wants to go for that long diagonal that we see from him a few times at least each game. He'll go short to the left instead. Cook again dropping in at the fullback space, pushing Winchcombe forward. Cook comes towards the halfway line. Winchcombe on the run. The space is there. Cook looks the other way. Out to the right. Dinks it through. It's blocked. It might come back to Ben Cook. He's challenged well in midfield, and South Park have it and can look for those counters again. The wingers on each side pushing forward quickly. There's options for an early out ball, but they've kept hold of it at the back instead, the away team. Long pass floated across from left to right, and at right back, McKelly got up to the halfway line, gets the return ball. Dunn makes a challenge, it goes loose and Faithful and collects at the back for South Park, clears it away. Hooked on down the right-hand side by Johnson. Winchcombe is there to deal with it. He's going to try and hook the ball back over his head. He does that. George Reid now backing into McKelligott, keeps the ball in play, but under some pressure, lays it back to Upton, who showed for it. And Upton will turn and give it to Strudley across the face of his goal. And Strudley takes one touch before kicking the ball away. A very flat kick that's going straight to the feet of Sam King, but Johnson-Schuster's held him up. He hasn't managed to stop him though. King on the run down the left-hand side. Into the box he goes. Johnson-Schuster gets back to make a challenge. Slightly untidy, but he got there. It's put across now, and Simpson can't put the ball on target. Always stretching to reach it on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it goes high and wide. Closest we've come to a chance really so far today, and the big South Park number 20 unable to steer his header goalwards. Basingstoke coming forward from the goal kick. Cook going for that diagonal reverse pass towards George Reid. The bounce taking it away towards the corner. Reid challenging. The ball's still in play for now. Reid might have won it back. No foul given. Reid into the box on the left-hand side. Just Wilson to help him out for now. Goes back towards the edge of the box. DeAndre Brown didn't get his stride right coming onto the ball and ended up slicing the ball away towards the corner flag. Best opportunity for Basingstoke so far. Brown just couldn't quite get his feet sorted out so that he was stepping onto the ball as it arrived. Goal kick again coming for Basey as we hit the 11-minute mark in this game. Basey waving his teammates upfield. And again towards Simpson. DeAndre Brown gets up ahead of him, heads it away for a South Park throw-in. It's just short of the halfway line. Thrown in short, return to the taker. Tatu gets away from one challenge, caught by a second, but we play on as he continues to go. Finds Simpson now, who turns and lays the ball out to the right-hand side. Man over for South Park if they can work it that way. They do so, but the run just held up there from McGilligott as the ball went slightly behind him. He holds it and goes infield again. Basingstoke with 10 behind the ball early towards Simpson. Armsworth is there, plays it away onto the chest of Hodges. Couldn't quite keep the ball away from Tut, who was tight to him. And South Park work it again away from the back line forward down their left-hand side. Tut again, the left back going forward. Cuts back and tries to dink a ball inside. Armsworth steps up from the back and wins it for Basingstoke. Finds Ben Cook. The counter was on early, but Basingstoke a little bit slow to work it out into space. Winchcombe has it now on the left. Reid goes beyond him and Winchcombe has to turn and go inside for Simon Dunn now. Back again to Winchcombe and onto the back line for Billy Upton. Line of 4 on the front line for Basingstoke. Upton goes square. Brad Wilson wanted it sent in behind. Goes out to Johnson-Schuster instead. Time for him on the ball. Back to Upton. Reid showing for it on the left. Basingstoke playing safe when they've got the ball at times with the central defenders. Plenty of movement ahead of them as Upton gets it back. Armsworth wants it and Armsworth gets it. Centre circle but coming forward into the South Park half. He's going to try and play it through to Wilson. Dropping off the front line. First time in behind for Johnson-Schuster. He wasn't alive to it really. And it may have had too much on it. At any rate, it goes through to Basey, who rolls it short out to Faithorn as South Park start again from the back into midfield. Simon Dunn closes it down and Healy quickly goes back to Faithorn now, corner of his own penalty area on the right-hand side. Basingstoke sitting off with South Park knocking the ball around on the edge of their box. Healy into midfield now and again quickly back to Faithorn on the back line. in field once more. Healy's got time at the back. Basingstoke drop off a little further. Long ball in behind the Basingstoke defence, headed down towards Simpson, but Upton is there first, sends it high in the air into the South Park half. Healy with time and space heads it up towards Simpson again, takes it down on his chest, but then misses with his second touch. And Cook gets the ball. Cook's going to get himself in trouble if he's not careful. He's lost it in the Basingstoke half. Sam King with the ball. Out to the left-hand side he goes. Chance potentially to cross here for Ben Jordan. Left-hand touchline wide of the box, back in onto his right foot. Sends it early. It's deflected up in the air. Armsworth shouts and heads it away. Wilson will drop back to get to the ball. Heads it down into midfield. DeAndre Brown looking for Hodges. Basingstoke never really had that ball under control after clearing it. And South Park will get it back on the halfway line. Done with the challenge, can't win it back. Forward they come through Drinkwater, onto the right foot. Basingstoke stepping off on the edge of the box now. Chance to shoot perhaps for South Park, stepping away and then collapsing over the outstretched foot of Armsworth. It's very lackadaisical from Basingstoke. Losing the ball and then a big space in their half ahead of the box to try and take advantage. Nobody really putting a foot in until Armsworth dangles a leg out. And Sam King, with not much space, decides he's happy to go down. And this is a free kick in a very dangerous position for South Park. Ben Jordan already standing over it. The ball is inside the D. Difficult to go over the wall and under the bar. Over comes McGee as well to help out. The referee moving the Basingstoke wall back beyond the penalty spot. That gives you an idea of how close this is. It's about 20 yards from goal. McGee looks very keen with the left foot. Ben Jordan would be hitting it on the right. You wonder if they'll try and go for pace and try and beat Strudley on his side of the goal. Big wall for Basingstoke. 5 there. Simon Dunn close by as well. Will it be the left foot of McGee or the right foot of Jordan? Both players stepping back from the ball, keeping Strudley guessing. Big space that the wall is protecting. Lifted into the wall and Basingstoke should be able to clear. George Reed takes it away from one challenge. On the run, he looks for the early ball. There's nobody ahead of him. He'll have to take it on himself and he's clattered. Strong challenge, but fair, says the referee. And forward comes South Park again. Finley Johnson on the right. He's got blue and yellow shirts in front of him. Plays it in and Armsworth is there to clear it away. And that's a throw-in for South Park. George Reed really had nothing to do there. He looked up, but there was nobody ahead of him. Strong challenge, but there was certainly a foot on the ball. The referee said it was enough to not be a foul. He's going to speak to Simon Dunn about the reaction of his teammates to that challenge. We've got a goal for Tooting and Mitcham away at Uxbridge. Tooting and Mitcham already know they'll be finishing bottom, but they can at least put 3 more points on the board against the side stuck in mid-table. Long throwing away, headed out as far as DeAndre Brown for George Reed, who sends it down the line again. Wilson has dropped deep and there's nobody to chase this, so it'll go all the way through to Basie's goal. Basie will roll it out to the left-hand side and Drinkwater will come up towards the halfway line, gets it back in midfield from Jordan, threads that through, does well to find King and out to Tutt on the left-hand side. He cuts in field. Basingstoke trying to constrict space out in that wide area on the South Park left. Again, 10 behind the ball for Basingstoke, standing off for South Park, have it on the halfway line. Cook pressing, can't manage to win the ball. A couple of quick passes get away from him, and then a referee is going to give a free kick against DeAndre Brown, who stuck a boot out. The ball was just nicked away from him. And another South Park ball, and they're going to be about 5 or 6 yards inside the Basingstoke half, left of centre. And we'll see if they go for a long delivery from deep here. No further punishment for the Basingstoke midfielder, stand-in skipper in recent games. And Simon Dunn has missed out. Looks like South Park will go for the long ball. Again, the 2 central defenders forward. Simpson already at the back of the queue. Parked up there with Billy Upton. It goes towards him. Upton goes up, gets a glancing touch, but that will go for a corner. And South Park will have another chance to put the ball into the box towards those big targets they've got. Not sure if Basingstoke were fully organised for that. There was plenty of space to put the ball into, and Upton, if he didn't get there, Simpson would have been free to have a go from the far post. Over to the right-hand side comes Ben Jordan. 2-0 to Bedfont at home to Guernsey, doing everything they can to earn a reprieve in the form of that relegation playoff. Corner is an outswinger from the right. Curled in towards the near post. Wilson gets the header to it initially. It will come out to one of the South Park players in midfield, laid back towards the halfway line where Sam Tutt has it in the centre circle. He goes long, but Simpson wasn't anywhere near back in time to stay on side, and Strudley collects. He rolls it quickly out to DeAndre Brown wide on the right, looking for a diagonal pass. Instead he goes short to Ben Cook and gets it back again out wide. Simon Dunn now in space to receive the ball. Centre circle, prods it onto Cook, lays it back now towards Johnson Schuster. Basingstoke securing possession, and it's DeAndre Brown halfway line wide right. Early ball up towards Wilson, who dummied it. Cook not on the same page. Certainly possible to see what Wilson was going for, but Ben Cook not ready for it, and South Park get it back and play it away. Winchcombe will collect the loose balls, the challenge comes in, and Basingstoke have it again, safe at the back. Manny Williams has a goal for Southall. It's 2-0 to them at home to Chertsey. Chertsey playoff challengers for a long time, but their form in this last third of the season has just not been good enough. Winchcombe over the halfway line for Basingstoke. Narrow position, early towards DeAndre Brown. Gets it under control, returns it towards Winchcombe again, just leaves the pass a little bit soft, and it's cleared away. South Park keeping space very restricted in the middle portion of their half, stopping Basingstoke playing through it. Here's Ben Cook in the centre circle, looking to the right. Sends it Hodges' way. Hodges gets on the ball and he's able to run at Tutt here. Want to come in onto his left foot if he can. Towards the box he goes, right-footed early into the area. It's sliced up in the air. Should be headed away to the edge of the box at least. It goes that far. Johnson-Schuster will step up to make a challenge. Loose ball for now. Simpson turns, holds off Simon Dunn and skips away onto his right foot. He wants an early ball in behind. It wasn't on and he gives it straight to Armsworth, and we go early towards George Reid. Reid's away down the left-hand side. What a touch that is. Wilson wants it at the far post. Reid sends it his way and it's going to be cleared at the far post before Wilson can touch it in. Opening for Basingstoke there. What a ball by Armsworth on his left foot. Took advantage of the right back McElligott being high up the pitch. Basingstoke playing from the throw-in now. Winchcombe tries to free Reid again on the left, but South Park intercept and will clear away towards Simpson once more. Johnson-Schuster gets in front of him, touches heavy, takes it away from one challenge, but that gets him into a second one, and South Park do have it in their own half. Out to the left-hand side it goes. Cook going out to cover for Johnson-Schuster for now. Over the halfway line comes Jordan. He's got an overlap from Tutt. Early ball into the box should be Strudley's, and he'll come and claim that safely on the penalty spot. Nobody in red anywhere near him. Reid showing for the early ball out for Strudley, but he rolls short to his right and gives it instead to Scott Armsworth, who will find Ben Cook in the right back position, again dropping in there in midfield. We have gone over 20 minutes, still 0-0. Basingstoke not really creating too much at the moment. A lot of the ball on the back line and playing very safe and conservative when they've got it there. South Park, to their credit, doing a good job of stopping passes through the midfield in their half. Long throwing forward towards Simpson again, challenged by Simon Dunn. Dunn can't get around Simpson, and forward comes South Park again. Armsworth unable to make the challenge. Into the box they go, left-hand side, early shot straight into the chest of Strudley to jeers from the Basingstoke fans behind the goal. A good opening for McGee, but couldn't beat the keeper on his left foot. And Basingstoke will come forward on the left. Reid taking over from Winchcombe on the halfway line. A massive red shirts in the central areas. Basingstoke midfielders moving deep and wide to get space to get on the ball. It makes it difficult for them to connect with the various different lines up the pitch. Here goes Cook looking for DeAndre Brown. Takes it on his chest, left side of the box. What a good take it was. Lifts it and is going over the bar. Slightly off balance as he chased the ball towards the byline. Tried to hook it over to Wilson at the far post on the left foot, but couldn't get his boot around the ball enough. It was a great ball from Cook and a really good first touch from Brown to take it down, because it wasn't an easy one. Basie with another goal kick. Again, he's pushing teammates upfield. Launches the kick out towards Simpson, dropping in on the halfway line. Wins the flick on, but sends it straight to Johnson-Schuster, who's got a little bit of time. He'll go for a long one down the line. Reid and Wilson both on the run, and it's safely, in fact Hodges, and it's safely out for a throw-in to Basingstoke, which Johnson-Schuster will come well forward to take into the South Park half. Poor throw in there, easily intercepted. He tried to go across the pitch to Simon Dunn, headed away, and now the ball in behind, and South Park are threatening again, left-hand side. Sam King looking to cross from the byline, waiting for some support, curls it in straight to Strudley. That's not a good cross, and the Basingstoke keeper deals with it easily, and a quick throw out to Reid, who gets time to turn and now run at his man. Goes outside him onto the halfway line. He's only got Wilson ahead of him. Not many options, otherwise he has to come inside. Slows the counter down, and this is Cook. 3 South Park players left forward. Basingstoke might still be able to find some space. It's Hodges now on the right. Running at Tuck, goes down the line for Reid, into the box wide on the right-hand side. Can he find a cross? Twisting, turning. He's got McGee right there with him on the byline. George Reid deflected behind. The final touch came off George Reid. George Reid can't believe it, waving his hands at the assistant on the far side. But it will be a goal kick rather than the corner that Basingstoke were after. Midway through the first half, still 0-0 here, still 0-0 at Thatcham as well, which means it's as you were at kick-off in terms of top spot. South Park playing short from the goal kick again. Out they go from right to left and back again to the back line. Drinkwater on the ball. Basingstoke sitting off him will go for the long ball Upton is back there to cover, heads it out towards Hodges, right-hand side, inside the Basingstoke half, still square in field for Dunn, and right across towards Winchcombe, who gets there, narrow position. He's got George Reed with him, Winchcombe goes beyond him, still going Callum Winchcombe through the South Park half, pokes it through, DeAndre Brown's on side, left side of the box out, squares it across for Brad Wilson, oh, he's hit the post. What a chance for Wilson, didn't catch it cleanly at all on the left foot, but it looked like he still had enough to go in the end it bounces back off the post. Basingstoke inches from drawing first blood here. He just had to hold his run slightly and reach back behind him to hook it goalwards, which I think contributed to maybe not striking cleanly. But as I say, looked like he'd done enough to put it into the net. Basingstoke on the attack again on the right. Hodges in onto his left foot, lays it back for Simon Dunn. Not much to aim for a cross. Dunn coming infield, he goes for goal from range. It's blocked right in front of him and comes back to Cook. Now Winchcombe, narrow position again. He's lining up a shot here from a long way out. He hits that very well, and what a good save. Corner for Basingstoke. Brilliantly hit by Winchcombe. They didn't pressure him. They stood off as if happy to let him shoot. He was a good 30 yards out, left to centre, hit that across goal. And Basey goes flying across to push it wide with two hands. Basingstoke corner coming. Wilson over to the right-hand side to take for Basingstoke. Reed going short, it goes towards him, Reed dummies it and it's cleared away, looking for Hodges to come onto it on the penalty spot. Ben Cook goes across to try and retrieve the loose ball, but can't keep it in play. He got one touch to it, but couldn't get the second one back in field, and it will be a throw-in for South Park, who have a player down. Ryan Healy is sat on the ground. He did signal over to the bench as if to say that he needs to be replaced, but the referee will go and check on him, and we'll have a stoppage here. With 25 minutes gone now, the score's still 0-0. Basingstoke players all heading over towards the bench for drinks as the sun comes out. A little bit of rain earlier on today, but dry since kickoff. Biggest opportunity of the game going for Brad Wilson there. Again, DeAndre Brown in that left sort of half space, the inside left position. This time he got the pull back almost perfect. Wilson, as I say, just reaching slightly behind him, but bobbled the ball towards the corner and it came back off the post. Healy is up on his feet quickly and the referee waving the players back onto the pitch. Throw in for South Park coming, and midway inside their own half, out on their left-hand side. Sam Tutt to take as the referee blows his whistle to allow the restart. It will go down the line towards Simpson again, once more over his head though, and Armsworth heads it away. Drinkwater steps up from the back, wins the first header. Simpson backing into Armsworth. The referee's penalised Armsworth, who went up above the forward. Free kick for South Park, just inside Basingstoke territory, a couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline. Again, South Park pushing a few players forward. The central defenders have stayed back for the moment, but Simpson is right on up there alongside Finley Johnson. Marked by Upton again. From just inside Basingstoke's half, the free kick curled in very deep. That should go through to Strudley, although Armsworth on the edge of the box actually gets in the way, heads it down. Johnson-Schuster almost seemed to lose the ball in the sun. Off the bounce, wins a header away, so does Hodges, but South Park tidy it up, shout for handball, and it will actually be given. It will be a Basingstoke free kick, middle of their own half, as Drinkwater stepped up, the ball just brushing against his elbow as he got it under control, and Basingstoke want to go quickly. The referee's told Ben Cook to move a few yards to his right to take this free kick. They go right instead. Johnson-Schuster clipping the ball in behind for the run of Wilson. Wide right, gets it under control, avoids one challenge, but South Park quickly getting shirts behind the ball again. Cook sweeps it left for George Reed. One-on-one now against McElligott. Takes it onto his left side. Can he find a cross? Blocked, and it will go behind, and Basingstoke will have another corner, this time on the left-hand side. Simpson all the way back to defend it. Reed is over there at the moment to take. Wilson took the one from the right, but I think he's probably favourite to take this one eventually as well. He's jogging across now as signal to his teammates as he goes. It will be Wilson for the in-swinger. Hodges directing his teammates in the box. Floated in. Armsworth gets up and just couldn't quite get over the ball. Sends it high up in the air and out for a goal kick. He got a yard clear of his marker. Leapt in the air. Similar routine to the one he scored from a few weeks ago, flicking home a near post corner from the left on that occasion. Tried to do the same thing, but as he got up, it was just a few inches too high for him. Basey again to take now with a cap on as he looks into the sun from that goal away to my left. Long kick away, knocked down into midfield. Cook takes over on the halfway line, prods it wide towards George Reid. Taking on his man McElligott again. Plays it through, looking for Wilson just half a yard behind him, and Drinkwater takes. An attendance announced of 1,577 here this afternoon. Basingstoke's biggest of the season, and big enough to put them top of the average attendance table for the year as well, above Guernsey. 1,500 people who would love to see Basingstoke take the lead before half-time. South Park looking to attack. Simpson holding the ball up against Armsworth and playing it down the left-hand side now. The early cross is on as Johnson gets into the box. It might be pulled back instead. Into the box there goes. There's an opportunity as Armsworth goes down. Another chance, and it's shot into the roof of the net. South Park have scored, and Basingstoke so open at the back. It looked like they weren't quite ready for that counter, and they've gone behind in the 30th minute, and they'll have to come from behind if they're going to try and win this game now. Tutt able to just wander in from the left-hand side, almost seemed surprised to find himself free in the box, cut in onto his right foot and finished into the roof of the net. Not much chance for Strudley. Basingstoke will need 2 goals to come out and win this game now. The referee trying to hurry South Park back into their half. Melford Simpson has stopped in the Basingstoke half in front of their bench to take on a drink. South will have a third at home to Chertsey in that game. They're cruising so far. Basingstoke kick us off again. Fans trying to get behind them to push them on for an equaliser, which we need to find. The longer this goes on 0-0, the longer South Park will be comfortable to sit back and just play for this 1-0 lead. Ben Cook with the ball, out to Winchcombe into the South Park half, forced inside, and again Basingstoke with very few players in the middle of that South Park half to play into. They have to go wide or deep. It goes towards Wilson, who drops back, returns it to Simon Dunn, had to go right around the referee, just about got there before Simpson, and forward comes Armsworth, early towards DeAndre Brown, a poor pass, and it's cut out. Brown couldn't get there, and forward comes Tutt again, who's been credited with that South Park goal. Out they go to the left-hand side. Basingstoke pressing to try and win it back around the halfway line. Drinkwater into Healy in midfield. He's recovered from that knock he suffered earlier on. Drinkwater again, easy pass through midfield between Basingstoke players. And they work up to halfway line. Space on the right. They're going to go for the early ball in behind towards Johnson. Strudley coming out. He's not going to get there. Johnson nods it beyond him, but Winchcombe is covering and puts it away for a throw-in level with the edge of the Basingstoke box. Forward comes Healy, slowly as he can, to take this throw-in. South Park with a 1-0 lead now, happy to sit on that and slow the game down, break it up as much as they can, you'd expect. Leaning back against the fence around the pitch. Will launch this in. Simpson is there at the near post to aim for. Goes that way. Header away towards the edge of the box. Hodges knocks it on towards Wilson. Back again to Hodges, inside towards Cook, and it's just a pass without looking, and he's got Cook in trouble. Ball only half cleared in the end. Tutt will recover it and go back to the halfway line. Basingstoke causing their own problems there. The ball flicked around the corner. Ben Cook intercepts, but then can't turn on the ball and he's lost it. And South Park looking for the early ball towards Johnson in the box, and a touch from Upton takes it away from him. South Park will have a throw-in on this near side. Level with the edge of the Basingstoke box. Keller got started going for it and then stopped and slowed down, and Healy will wander across again as time ticks away in this first half. It'll be a long throw from Healy against Simpson right there at the near post. He'll be the target. It goes towards him. It's flicked on and DeAndre Brown is there to clear it away. It hasn't gone out of play yet. George Reid has time to collect it, gets a shout to let him know, and he'll try and clear down the left-hand side. He sends it that way. Wilson will chase. The ball goes out of play just inside the South Park half. The referee tells McElligott no further forward. The ball left in the corner, and South Park will leave it to Basey to walk across to collect. Referee tells McGilligot halfway line and no further. Faithful now standing with the ball in his hand. Back towards the corner flag. We've got 12 minutes left of this first half. Basingstoke trailing. Thatcham still at 0-0 with Walton and Hersham, but Basingstoke failing to take advantage. Throw is poor. It slips out of McGilligot's hands and Reid clears and Wilson chases it down. Drinkwater steps into Wilson's way to block him off, and Wilson not happy about it as Basey collects the ball. Basey throws it outside his box again. A few more yards. Wilson will close him down and make sure he goes no further. Can't quite block the kick, although it got fairly close up towards Simpson, able to take it down, lays it back, and across the pitch it goes straight to Johnson-Schuster, though, who gets it under control and will go square across the pitch. Basingstoke need to look forward more quickly to take advantage of South Park being upfield. George Reid has surely drawn a booking here. McGilligot will be going into the book as he pulls George Reid back. Reid wriggled clear and was looking at all that green space in front of him to run into. McGilligot will be shown a yellow card. North would have a second at home to Marlow. South will have a fourth at home to Chertsey. McGilligot will be the first player into the book as the referee gets the yellow card out. Pretty clear-cut decision. Stopping George Reid, who's got the ball under control and just used how tight McGilligot got against him to wriggle clear. McGilligot with nothing else to do bar put both arms around George Reid and pull him right back. Johnson stood in front of the ball. The referee takes him 10 yards away. This free kick's close to the halfway line, and Winchcombe will go square into the centre circle for Scott Armsworth. 10 to go in this first half plus stoppage time. Armsworth lifts it in from deep. Hodges is there, and the flag is up against Hodges as he hits the woodwork. But the flag long since up. It looked very tight along the edge of the penalty box there. Not many complaints, it has to be said, from Hodges, although I'm not sure if he knew he was offside when he took that shot. He took it down really well onto his right foot, beat the keeper and off the corner of the woodwork. Basey will take the free kick and will set up for it slowly again. Lovely ball by Armsworth once more, floated in to find Hodges in that space left of centre once again. Just slightly ahead of the line. Basey's kick up towards Simpson once more. He'll battle with both Cook and Upton. It bounces off Cook and will go all the way through to Drinkwater, who sends it back to Ben Cook, who'll send it in behind early. Look at the Wilson on the run. Great ball. And the header is a brilliant one to take it off Brad Wilson from Sam Tutt, who scored the only goal of the game. It was just a glancing touch, but it gave the ball enough to get through to Basey rather than letting Wilson go clear through on goal. Basey sends the kick away again towards Simpson. He goes up, Upton beats him in the air. It will drop towards DeAndre Brown. Back for Dunn. He's got a bit of time to come forward now. Prods it through. Look for Wilson. What a ball by Simon Dunn. Wilson edge of the box. Now he shoots early. That's a brilliant sliding block to stop it going towards goal. Basingstoke will have a throw in the corner. Wonderful ball from Simon Dunn outside of the boot. And as I say that, Dunn slips as he tries to get on the end of Brad Wilson's quick throw in. And South Park able to clear it away. Out they go to the left-hand side again, looking to attack on the counter. Johnson-Schuster slows it down. Long crossfield pass coming. It's a bit behind McGilligot. He has to hold his run. Basingstoke with nobody out on the left side to defend against him. He's going to send it in from deep. Simpson the target. Up goes Armsworth. Couldn't get there. Simpson takes it down, turns, tries to shoot and lifts that over the fence. And it will be a Basingstoke goal kick. 37 on the clock. Simpson took it on the chest, tried to swivel and volley on his left foot. Nowhere near the goal. The Basingstoke fans enjoyed that. Basingstoke playing again from the back, out to the left-hand side. Winchcombe sends it back infield. Armsworth through the middle for Simon Dunn. The referee gets in the way. Dunn has an angry look over his shoulder. Referee's quickly back up to his feet as Dunn sends it back to Armsworth. All he really could do. Referee not for the first time in Simon Dunn's way. Long ball by Dunn. Hodges on the run. Faithorn's header goes up in the air. Cook might be able to challenge for the second ball. Faithorn heads it away, and that'll be a throw-in to Basingstoke. On the left-hand side, close to the South Park box, quickly taken by Wilson. Winchcombe lifts it over the head of Johnson to find Cook, puts it wide. Look for Wilson, gets that wrong, and it's out for a throw-in to South Park, wide of their own penalty area. Thrown down the line, up goes Wilson, gets a head to it, up in the air. Cook for the second ball, doesn't come to him, or to Simon Dunn. Simpson knocks it down for South Park, and it's cleared in behind, and Scott Armsworth will chase it back towards his own box. Strudley comes out to support him, but Armsworth with all the time and space in the world to turn. In fact, nobody from South Park is in the Basingstoke half at the moment. Armsworth going early again towards Hodges. Nice idea, but this time a little bit too long. Hodges lets it go, and Basey will come wide of his goal and try and hold the ball at feet for as long as he can. Picks the ball up now as Hodges goes and closes him down. Rolls it outside his box. Hodges again will chase this, and Basey will float it out towards Simpson. Cook goes up, so does Upton. Upton wins it. The referee is in the way yet again. Third time he's been in the player's way in this first half. And forward comes South Park, who come away with the ball out to the right-hand side. McElligott will try and go beyond Winchcombe, who leans into McElligott, brings him down. The referee will give a free kick there, and Basingstoke will complain again that that attack has all come from the referee blocking off another player. And South Park will have a free kick just a few yards wide of the Basingstoke box. Westfield have a second away at Merstham now. Merstham look like they're in a bit of trouble with Bedfont winning. They're moving up. Ashford not having to do anything as it stands. Johnson and Jordan standing over this free kick for South Park. Sutton Common Rovers, Bedfont and Merstham all split on goal difference as it stands. From 17th down to 19th. Here comes the free kick from the right-hand side. It will be Jordan on the right foot towards the near post, and it's flicked away. Corner of the box on the opposite side. Loads of space to shoot. And it goes right through and against the post, and Basingstoke trying to get it clear. It's all a mess of bodies as Strudley in the end saves on the line. And the referee's going to stop the game because Healy is down once again and rolling around on the corner of the 6-yard box. He may need some attention. It was an almighty scramble. The ball somehow sneaking through many, many players as it was sent back into the box and against the base of the Basingstoke post. Hamworth Villa have taken the lead away at Chipstead. That puts them back into 4th place. It means that Basingstoke will be playing Northwood here on Wednesday night as it stands. Lengthy check this on Healy. It's the second time he's gone down with an injury so far today. South Park might be forced into a change. Players again over on the far side getting drinks on board. Basingstoke with just under 5 minutes plus stoppage time to get themselves back on level terms before the break. As it stands, getting themselves on level terms would be enough to go back level on points with Walton and Hersham, who are still 0-0 away at Thatcham. Basingstoke, if they could take a lead in this game, would be top of the table for now, but they've gone behind instead. Up gets Healy, and he'll walk across. He'll have to go off to the sideline. He won't be allowed to continue. The referee is pointing towards the sideline. Healy's running into midfield and now changes direction and goes away. He will be waved back on once this game is back underway. 3-0 now to Bedfont at home to Guernsey. Guernsey safe now. Bedfont looking to try and get themselves away from that 19th spot in the league. Basingstoke playing at the back once more. Upton invited forward towards the halfway line as South Park sit off. Onto his right foot, gives it to Armsworth again. Ben Cook is dropping in on the right. Armsworth goes over the halfway line into midfield. Looks for an option, finds Hodges. Back to goal as he's quickly put under pressure. Sends it wide to Johnson Schuster on the right. Crossing position. Needs players in the box. That's not a bad delivery. Hodges going for it, and it's cleared away. Armsworth will try and get there ahead of Simpson. He does enough, but it's going to be cleared away nonetheless. And out for a Basingstoke throw-in just inside their own half. 3 to go plus stoppage time in the first half here. South Park 1-0 up away at Basingstoke, who need a win to try and leapfrog Walton and Hersham at the top of the league. Here's Winchcombe coming forward over the halfway line, goes wide to Cook on the left flank. Brown and Hodges ahead of him. Wilson inside. Cook comes in onto his right foot. Reid asking for it. It goes in towards George Reid, and it's touched behind. That might be a corner. Who did that come off last? It did come off Reid last. He ended up sort of throwing a shoulder at it and deflecting it wide of the post as it was curled in towards him there, just getting in behind Tutt at left back. Basey again to send another long goal kick away. The referee waves at him to get on with it, and he obliges. Simpson, the target, is going beyond him. Armsworth wins the header. Reid stops it going out of play on the right flank, lays it back to Johnson-Schuster early forward. Hodges closest to it, but it's well over his head, and away it goes for a Basingstoke throw-in 10 yards inside the South Park half. Reid wants to go quickly into the corner, and he does so towards Hodges. Held up there, Drinkwater nods it away, and Basingstoke have another throw-in up by the South Park box now. Can they find this equaliser before the break? Johnson-Schuster takes it quickly from much deeper and gives it to Simon Dunn. Gets it back again, and now it's Dunn once more. Gets there on the stretch and plays it into the centre circle for Upton, who can come forward. South Park sitting very, very deep as they try and see out this lead to half-time. Square to the left from Upton. This is Winchcombe now. Down the line towards Cook. Cook lays it back for Wilson wide on the flank. His pass is blocked, and Basingstoke have another throw-in. Back towards Upton it goes, and again now for Wilson, who took that throw in. He's got players making runs into the box. Reid is wide open on the right-hand side. Johnson-Schuster drawing some space for him. Reid gets it. Can he find a telling cross? 5 to aim for in the box. Goes on his right foot towards the byline into the area now, and he's tripped, and that's a penalty to Basingstoke. Final minute of normal time in the first half. George Reid wins a penalty, and Basingstoke will have the best chance they could ask for to get themselves back on level terms. Reid got away from his man, had his heels clipped as he got to the byline, and the assistant flagged immediately, and the referee didn't take much longer to point to the spot. Now, will it be Brad Wilson to take? Either way, what a pressure penalty it will be. Hodges has the ball in hand at the moment. Wilson is looking at him hopefully. Hodges now hands it. Oh, in fact, no, he's kept hold of it for now. We'll see what they do, the two of them. I think it's going to be Paul Hodges to take. The referee waving the South Park players away. We'll see if Hodges hands the ball over to somebody else. He's walking away from the box now, and Wilson's walking back into the area. It will be Brad Wilson to take. We'll see this at the upper levels of the game, where one player will take the ball just to deflect any attention off the real taker. It will be Brad Wilson. 32 goals he's got this season. Can he make it 33? And what a huge goal it would be for Basingstoke. Going to be into stoppage time by the time it's taken. Wilson steps back. A very short run-up once again. Scored a penalty at Thatcham recently to make that game safe for Basingstoke. He steps up, and it's in. And Basingstoke on level terms. High to the goalkeeper's left. Basing goes the right way, but doesn't manage to stop it. And as we enter stoppage time here, Basingstoke are back on level terms. George Reid wins the penalty. Brad Wilson scores it, and Basingstoke are level on points with Walton and Hersham at the top of the league once again. Just what they needed, that equaliser before half-time. South Park will get us back on the way. There's a false start as DeAndre Brown is too quick to get into opposition territory. And Healy eventually takes it now, and South Park from the restart will launch it high into the Basingstoke half. Armsworth will go across and challenge Simpson. Simpson wins the header. Johnson-Schuster calls for Strudley to come out, and Strudley does come out and collect the ball on the right side of his box. 1 minute of stoppage time has gone, but the referee will add a bit more on for the length of time it took to get everything sorted and taken there for the penalty. Forward comes Upton, long to the right hand side. Reid the target, Tutt is right there underneath it. Really good header, he got his positioning just right, nods it back to his keeper. Basey brings it out to the edge of his box. Wilson kneeling down to do his laces, and now we'll go and chase Basey down as he rolls it outside his box. Slips as he kicks it, but gets enough on it. Simpson the target. Armsworth heads it down to Simon Dunn. Simpson wants a free kick, doesn't get it. Dunn's pass is deflected back to Upton, who will turn away from Johnson now and look into midfield. Out to the right-hand side it goes. Johnson-Schuster on the ball deep in his own half. Reid coming close by, and Cook going beyond them both. Reid receives the ball, plays it back to Armsworth again. Armsworth towards the halfway line. Marlow have one back away at Northwood just before the break. 2-1 there now as some of the half-times start to come in around the league. This is Upton, halfway line, left of centre. Threads it through to Hodges. Good turn from him. Towards the box he goes. Left-hand side, into the area. Can he find a cross? Packed with red shirts. The box, it'll go towards Dunn, and it's just taken off him. He makes a challenge. The South Park player goes down a bit theatrically. Referee says no foul. It will be a corner for Basingstoke. Well, they're going to completely turn this around in the first half. Wilson will take from the left-hand side. Plenty of Basingstoke players again in the box at the far post ready to make their runs. Hodges and Reid there as well, two more on the edge of the area. Wilson takes it, Upton goes for it, brilliant header away to stop him nodding that towards goal. Winchcombe collects, volleys the pass out wide for Wilson. Great ball by Winchcombe. This is Wilson from deep, finds Simon Dunn, left side of the box now. What will he do? He puts it across, it's deflected to the far post beyond DeAndre Brown, who was arriving, and finds George Reid on the opposite side. Cook wants on the edge of the area. Reid tries to turn onto his right foot, as he did when winning that penalty. This time he's tackled, and South Park will be able to play it away down that far side of the pitch. Flicked on by Johnson, and Cook in a foot race now slides in, knocks the ball loose, brilliant tackle, and Callum Winchcombe, the last man back, takes a huge risk and comes away with the ball, dribbling past one of 3 South Park players who were there up against him. Basingstoke countering, Hodges round the corner to Reid on the right, keeps it in play, plays it down the line, looking for Johnson. Schuster just got a touch from Tutt, who's been good in this first half, and South Park have it right in the corner. Basingstoke trying to pin them in, it will go for a goal kick as it's cleared against Johnson Schuster. Half-time at Thatcham, 0-0 between Thatcham and Walton and Hersham, 1-1 here, and there may not be much more first half to play. Basie ready to take a goal kick. We'll go up towards Simpson again, but it may be the last action of this first half. The referee does have a look at his watch, puts the whistle to his lips, and he does indeed blow the whistle, and that is that for the first half here at Winkleby Football Complex. It's 1-1. Both sides at the top of the league drawing at half-time, which means they're still level on points with Walton top on goal difference, but it is there to be taken. Basingstoke got themselves back on terms, having gone behind through Sam Tutt's finish high into the roof of the net from a tight angle as he cut in from the left-hand side onto his right foot, but George Reid got free on the byline, was tripped up and won a penalty for Basingstoke. And Brad Wilson converted high to Basie's left. That is that for half-time then. Hello and welcome back to Basingstoke Town Live. We're almost ready for the second half here. Basingstoke and South Park are coming out for the second period from the tunnel. A huge goal that for Basingstoke to get themselves back on level terms before the half-time break. As it stands at half-time, still level on points with Walton, who are at 0-0 with Thatcham at half-time there. The other half-time scores around the league: Bedfont 3, Guernsey 0, big for Bedfont that. Chipstead 0, Hamworth Villa 1, Leatherhead 1, Binfield 0, Merstham 0, Westfield 2, Northwood 2, Marlow 1, Southall 4, Chertsey 0, Sutton Common Rovers 0, Ashford 0, and Uxbridge 0, Tooting and Mitcham 2. That means that at the bottom of the league, Bedfont have lifted themselves up to 17th, and it's Sutton Common Rovers who are currently in that 19th place in the second direct relegation spot. They are there by 2 goals at the moment. Their goal difference 2 worse than Merstham, who are already 2-0 down. If Merstham concede a couple more, then it gets incredibly tight. Bedfont are only above Merstham by virtue of their own goal difference, although they're 10 goals clear, so it's not the kind of goal difference that will be overturned in one afternoon if it comes down to it. Ashford are fine by virtue of Merstham losing. As it stands, they're okay. South Park will get us underway for this second half, having taken the lead on the half-hour mark through Sam Tutt, who finished high into the roof of the net after wandering in from the left flank. Basingstoke on level terms as George Reid was brought down in the box on the stroke of half-time, and Brad Wilson put away his 33rd goal of the season. Doesn't look like either side are making any changes at the break, I don't think. It sounds like Thatcham have scored. It sounds like Thatcham have got a goal against Walton and Hersham, and as it stands, Basingstoke are top of the league at the start of the second half here. We're going to have a full start on the kickoff, but that news has got through to the fans, who are now losing their minds behind the goal. Just waiting for confirmation of that to come through, but it sounds like Basingstoke have gone top of the league. They have indeed. Cameron Rohart-Brown, the Thatcham top scorer, has put Basingstoke top of the league as it stands, kicking off the second half here. We are underway, a bit of head tennis in midfield. And South Park come away with the ball, attacking down their right-hand side, looking for an early one to try and retake the lead. The cross is blocked. Simon Dunn will get the ball in a tight area and hook it away downfield. Wilson wins the header and flicks it on. DeAndre Brown bursts ahead of midfield as Basingstoke go on the attack again. Brown down the left-hand side, he's bundled over, and that could be a yellow card for Drinkwater. It will be a Basingstoke free kick out on the left flank, not far from the South Park box. Celebrations going on in the railway end. A long way to go, of course. Half the game there, half the game here. Basingstoke looking to take a lead as Ben Cook lines up this free kick in crossing position, about 15 yards or so from the South Park box. He's going to touch it down the line. George Reid to cross from the left. First time, near post. Good ball. Hodges with a header and it's wide. It's just a bit too far in front of the near post and couldn't flick the ball goalwards. He needed just the slightest of glancing touches and got a bit too much on it. Basey with the goal kick to take. How things have changed here either side of half-time. The referee is pointing to his watch to Basey as if to tell him that this is all being added on, and then waves at him to tell him to hurry up. Long kick away. Ben Cook being held off by Melford Simpson. Upton with the second ball, hooks it forward. DeAndre Brown gets it down, lays it back towards Winchcombe. Soft pass. Winchcombe goes into a challenge. The ball is loose, and now Finlay Johnson has it down the right-hand side. We are top of the league, sing the fans, but Basingstoke have defending to do to stay there. This is going to be a chance for King. It's laid back and the shot is high and wide from McGee from about 20 yards or so, just outside the box. It was laid back to him by King. There's no way the Basingstoke players don't know what's going on with the noise there is around this place. Out to the left-hand side go Basingstoke. It's Winchcombe on the ball. Down the line, DeAndre Brown pulling wide, lays it back again to Winchcombe halfway line. Forward for Hodges on the run, left flank, spins away. Can he find a cross? Good challenge from Faithorn. Basingstoke throw-in. 2.5 minutes gone in this second half. It's still 1-1 here, but that Thatcham goal has put Basingstoke top of the league as it stands. Winchcombe with a short throw to DeAndre Brown. Into the box it goes, headed away by Drinkwater. Johnson Schuster gets his head to it, back towards the edge of the box. Wilson flicks it on. Faithorn just gets there ahead of Hodges and clears it away. Armsworth defending at the back for Basingstoke, puts it all the way back for Strudley. This is Armsworth now, gets it from his goalkeeper. Simon Dunn has it now, gets it back again to Armsworth. Out it goes to Ben Cook on the right-hand side, just short of the halfway line. South Park sit off. He wants someone to come short, doesn't get the option. He'll go out to Simon Dunn, who will float it across towards Winchcombe. Halfway line on the left-hand side now for Basingstoke. Cuts inside and lays it back towards Billy Upton. Dunn out to DeAndre Brown, coming forward through the South Park half. In off the flank he goes, finds Hodges under pressure, plays it inside. Brown edge of the box now, onto his right foot, tries to put it through. It's blocked and the counter could be on. They get in each other's way, South Park, and Dunn tidies up. Ben Cook now looks for Reid on the right. Cook takes it forward himself. Reid going in behind. Cook's going to cross from deep. That'll be headed away by Drinkwater as far as Dunn. Takes it on his knee and he's bundled over. Referee says no foul. Simon Dunn smacks the floor in frustration. Basingstoke tidy up and play it wide to George Reid, infused perhaps by that Thatcham goal. Reid running at Tut. He's got 3 other players all around him. He'll lay it back now for Johnson Schuster. Infield for Dunn. Right of centre. He turns and looks across the pitch. Wilson showing for it. Dunn looks for him. It'll go towards Hodges. Gets a touch to find Dunn again. Edge of the D now. Dunn for Hodges, left hand side. Can Hodges get the shot away? He goes down. Another penalty for Basingstoke. It's another one of his penalties on this one. 4 minutes into the second half and Basingstoke have a second penalty. Hodges going down the left side of the box. Had a tangle of legs really. Both players went down. Referee gave Basingstoke the decision and they have a penalty and a chance to take a lead. Brad Wilson scored a penalty late in the first half to get Basingstoke on terms. Hodges again has gone to retrieve the ball as he did for that penalty. But will it be Wilson to take once more? The flare has been let off in the railway end, perhaps a little bit premature. It will be Wilson to take. He went to Basey's left last time. Will he do the same thing this time? The flare may delay things if that smoke ends up filling the field a bit too much. Basingstoke's 33-goal top scorer in front of the bouncing railway end. It will be another short run up again. Yellow smoke drifts across the pitch. The referee got the yellow card out and booked one of the South Park players there. And amongst it all, he's now going to speak to Basey, presumably a reminder about staying on his goal line. What a long wait this has been for Brad Wilson. Can he do it again? Will he go the same way? It's a psychological game between the two of them. The referee is just about ready for us now. He steps away Waving players outside the box. He blows the whistle. Brad Wilson again, that short run up. And he sends it into the bottom corner. And Basingstoke have come from behind to lead by 2 goals to 1. Brad Wilson in the 51st minute scores his second penalty of the day. And every single outfield player is in celebrations amongst the fans behind the goal. Could it be? Could it be for Basingstoke Town? 2-1 up now. Walton need to score twice to peg them back. And it is still 1-0 at Thatcham. Binfield have an equaliser meanwhile away at Leatherhead. 1-1 at Thatcham Grove. If that Railway End was in party mood before, it certainly is now. That stand is due to be replaced in summer, which may be a good thing. Who knows how much it can take from the masses behind that goal, bouncing and jumping and celebrating and cheering. We still haven't restarted. The whistle goes and we are now back underway. South Park will go for another long ball towards Melford Simpson on the left. Basingstoke don't challenge him for it, just let him take it down and go for the second ball instead, which they've won. George Reed pokes it up to the halfway line, he's blocked off, but no foul is given. And Drinkwater collects, plays it to Tutt, who will go all the way back. Basingstoke chasing every ball. Long down the middle of the pitch, Simpson will chase this, Strudley will come out and claim it. Simpson a big presence, but pace not his attribute, and Basingstoke happy to deal with that. 3-0 to Tooting and Mitcham away at Uxbridge now, the league's bottom side, at least finishing on a high after what has been a very difficult season for them. Upton with a long ball into the corner, that'll be too long, it will go over the line. Just which line will it go over? It's a throw-in for South Park by the corner flag. It'll be McKellar to take it right back. And he'll launch it forward. Simon Dunn gets a touch to knock it out for another throw and further upfield for South Park. 8 minutes in the second half gone. Basingstoke Town 2, South Park 1. Thatcham 1, Walton and Hersham 0 in the other game that matters at the top of the league. McKellar lines up another long throw towards Simpson. Wilson gets a touch, knocks it infield. Armsworth on the volley, clear, high into the South Park half. They'll have another throw in the same sort of position. Long one down the line. Simon Dunn gets to it first and then volleys it away. Hodges underneath this up against Faithorn. Faithorn misses the initial ball and forward comes Drinkwater to help out. Knocks it to Cook in midfield. Early ball in behind. DeAndre Brown on the run. It's going to drop towards him. Brown gets there, nods it round the keeper. It goes down again. The referee says no, this time it will be a corner. South Park defenders doing just about enough. Baser came out. The backspin on the ball was perfect. Just held that up for Brown. Nodded it past the keeper at a tight angle. It was put behind. Basingstoke corner. Brad Wilson to take. Third goal would make so much difference just to give Basingstoke a cushion. An array of shoes being held up in the Railway End. Shoes off if you love the Stoke is the chant now. Wilson to take this corner. He's got Reed offering short. Armsworth makes his run again. Wilson curls it in. It won't come to Armsworth. It's headed away at the near post. Cook knocks it wide to George Reed as Basingstoke look to reload. Reed down the line to Wilson. Running now at Tutt and just loses the ball under his feet. And South Park will look to try and counter. Finley Johnson going early up to the halfway line. Spins away from Winchcombe. He's on his own for the moment. Support arriving. Players from both sides arriving. And one of them is Simon Dunn to win it back for Basingstoke. Played down the line and Wilson's on the run. Over the halfway line. Reed ahead of him. Pokes it forward to George Reed. Just slightly behind him as Reed made the run from inside to out. And South Park work it out to the left back Tutt now, who's got a bit of time and space as Basingstoke shift back into their shape. South Park are getting their first change ready as DeAndre Brown almost wins the ball from that South Park back line. 10 minutes of the second half gone. It's all going well for Basingstoke as it stands, but it'll be excruciating 35 to 40 minutes if things don't change further. South Park moving slowly up the pitch. Healy out to the right-hand side now as they go into Basingstoke's half, away from Simon Dunn. Space on their left if they can find it that way. It will go instead to Jordan, coming across towards the right-hand side. Ben Cook right with him. Plays it out towards that far side. Basingstoke have shifted Wilson out to the left flank, at least for now, with Hodges going up front. Maybe looking for those counter-attack opportunities. And Johnson lets fly for South Park from 30 yards and sends that over the stand behind Strudley's goal. Merstham have one back in the relegation battle at home to Westfield. A penalty there has made it 2-1. Basingstoke are waiting for this South Park change before taking their goal kick. It's Sam King going off. And in fact, so is Ben Jordan. Ethan Ford is one of those coming on for South Park. I'll let you know who the other one is in a moment. Strudley will be able to take that kick with both of them on. It's Brendan Murphy-McVeigh, the other player onto the pitch as South Park out of forward to replace those that have been removed. Jordan Adeyemi has got Walton back on level terms. It's 1-1 now at Thatcham. Basingstoke on the attack. Wonderful touch from Hodges to drag a long pass down wide on the left-hand side. Can he find a cross? Basingstoke trying to get players forward. Hodges twisting and turning. He does get the ball in. It's deflected behind and Basingstoke have a corner. That goal from Walton and Hersham does not do enough to get them back above Basingstoke, but they are one goal away now with Basingstoke winning. A Walton and Hersham win would still win them the league. Basingstoke doing all they can do though with a 2-1 lead here at home to South Park. Brad Wilson ready to take a corner. As Basingstoke look to extend that lead. He plays it short to Hodges, turns on the byline, lays it back to Wilson. Free to cross again. He tries to get away. He might shoot himself now. He curls it. That's a big block. Shout for handball. The referee not interested. It was a muted shout in terms of the players for sure. And South Park will try and break now. Winchcombe doesn't make the interception. Johnson Schuster will try and get across to challenge Johnson. Into the corner he goes. Can he find a cross? Johnson Schuster's been beaten. He does send it across, glanced away by Winchcombe in the middle of the box. Basingstoke still out of shape for the moment. Tutt collects the ball on the left-hand touchline, plays it back towards Healy as Basingstoke get players back behind the ball, and in steps Upton, out at right back for the moment to make the challenge and gets the ball back for Basingstoke. Brown slices his clearance, it goes high up in the air and out for a throw-in. Billy Upton has stayed down after sticking a boot in. And he looks to be hurt, which would be a big concern for Basingstoke, laying out on the ground, grimacing up into the sky. The referee hasn't yet called for the Basingstoke physio to come on as Upton lays on the turf. He is going to get himself up to his feet, and of course any injuries or suspension at this point will come into play for Basingstoke if they do end up in the playoffs. Upton has sat up but not yet got up. He is on his feet, limping back into position now. He rubs, it looks like his lower back just about. Throwing coming for Tutt to take for South Park. Throws it in short, gets it back first time. It's played inside again. DeAndre Brown will make the tackle off the South Park man, and George Reed is now away and running. He's pulled back, but he keeps going. Referee plays advantage. Reed has Wilson to his left. Gives it to him. Brad Wilson comes in. Basingstoke not really pushing loads of players forward at this point. It goes out towards Reed, who keeps it in play on the left-hand touchline. A step over. He comes in onto his right foot between two or three South Park players. The challenge takes the ball towards the byline, hooked away from Reed, and Ben Cook will nod it down towards Winchcombe on the left flank. Big goal at the bottom. Sutton Common Rovers are taking the lead at home to Ashford. That takes them out of the relegation spot and up to 17th. Basingstoke go for the long ball out to the right, but it bends away from DeAndre Brown. And out for a goal kick. Approaching the hour mark here. Two Brad Wilson penalties have turned it round for Basingstoke. As it stands, Walton are level away at Thatcham. They're a couple of minutes ahead of us, I believe. Long forward from the goal kick, DeAndre Brown wins the header and sends it back towards the South Park box, where Drinkwater will just nod it back to Basey under no pressure. Thrown out towards Faithorn on the right-hand corner of the box for South Park as they start again. Hodges goes to close them down and cut off one half of the pitch. Forces it wide, and Basingstoke will try and pin McGilligot in there, and Hodges has won it off him. He's unfortunate. The ball rolls away for a throw-in rather than taking him away down the left-hand side. Merstham have equalised at home to Westfield, but a comeback that is from them. They're back on level terms, and that takes them out of 19th place and drops Bedfont back in to the automatic relegation zone. Sutton Common Rovers and Merstham in the relegation playoff as it stands. Bedfont, despite a 3-0 lead, need help from elsewhere. Keller got way further back to take this throw in, and he'll launch it away now. Up steps Dunn, gets a boot to the ball. It will come down towards DeAndre Brown, tries to move it onto Wilson. A bit awkward for him, and it's cleared away. Upton will chase this back. It's not going to be Strudley's ball, it's too wide. Johnson gets in front of Upton, who recovers really well to take it off Johnson and play it out towards Winchcombe in that corner. Winchcombe clears it away. Hodges will try and take it down. What a touch. Wilson, Hodges again now, in behind for Brad Wilson, down the left-hand side. He's isolated, he comes in onto his right foot, holds it up. 3 coming forward in support. One of them's DeAndre Brown, his pass is blocked, and he's lost the ball. Hodges tries to win it back. He's unfortunate not to get it a couple of times there, and then puts a foot in a little bit late, a hand up in apology immediately on Healy. And it will be a South Park free kick in the middle of their own half. Basie's going to come all the way outside his goal to take the free kick. Long kick away. Out to the left-hand side for Simpson, who wins the header above Armsworth, and Upton now trying to defend against Murphy McVeigh, who heads it in. That's a mistake from Johnson Schuster, nodded away by Dunn, and the shot can come in, and it's sliced high and wide. Opportunity for Healy, but he couldn't put it anywhere near the target. Johnson Schuster needed a shout from his goalkeeper to leave him to come and get it, because he could have got there first. Strudley, Johnson Schuster took it off him. Johnson Schuster is now checking on Billy Upton, who's still not moving 100% correct. Basingstoke do have Nathan Smart on the bench if needed.
Oh no.
Goal kick away from Strudley, launched towards the box, and it'll be headed down by Faithorn, just enough on it to get it back to Basie before DeAndre Brown can get there. And Drinkwater on the ball, plays it into midfield for Healy now, who's just had that opportunity that he's put off target. Healy standing still on the ball in midfield as Basingstoke sit off. Forward it goes into midfield. South Park pressed as they get that far, and they go back again to the back line. On the run now beyond Scott Armsworth, who's struggling here against McGee. He gets back to cover. McGee corner of the box, challenged by Armsworth, forced away from the area. George Reed challenges him. McGee still going backwards. Healy now on the ball, goes all the way back. Walton and Hersham have taken the lead away at Thatcham. That Thatcham goal has woken them up. They're 2-1 up, and as it stands, they're back on top of the league now. Basingstoke need a goal from Thatcham while remaining in front here. It's gone very quiet all of a sudden behind that goal to my right. Long ball towards the box, headed down towards the corner. George Reed chasing it, and Melford Simpson bundles into him. Referee says no foul. I'm surprised as Reed went down, and it's gone out for a throw into Basingstoke anyway. So they get the ball back one way or another. 63 played, 2-1 Basingstoke lead here. Walton and Hersham also 2-1 up and doing all they need to do to win the league without worrying about what goes on for Basingstoke. Johnson Schuster taking his time over this throw-in, looking for someone to come over and offer more support. He launches it towards DeAndre Brown, who's got 2 arms wrapped around him from Healy. Appeals to the referee, doesn't get the decision. Basingstoke under pressure now. Johnson hits that well, and Strudley gets across to make a save. I'm not sure he was expecting the shot, Paul Strudley. Scrambled across his goal, got there and managed to get up and chase the ball down to collect it. Strudley will roll it out to Upton on the left corner of the box. Still not 100% comfortable, I don't think, Billy Upton. He moves the ball on quickly to Winchcombe. Winchcombe will have to go back again to Upton. No pressure on Basingstoke as they knock the ball from left to right. Armsworth on it now will come forward and with the left foot try and hit one of those diagonals, but he leaves it too low. It will be cut out by Tutt, and South Park have it back again. Out to the left-hand side they go for substitute Ethan Ford over the halfway line, turns and goes back into his own half, gets it back once more, closed down by Reed, looks for the 1-2, it's hooked in behind Johnson Schuster, who wants Armsworth to come over and help him out. Johnson Schuster left on his own and does well. Armsworth now volleys clear as Johnson Schuster lays it back to him, headed back in behind. Johnson Schuster lets it go over his head and will volley it back towards the halfway line. DeAndre Brown goes up and loses his bearings as the ball falls, and South Park cover. Murphy McVeigh plays it back towards Drinkwater. A few niggly challenges in the middle of all that. Forward it goes. South Park trying to get down their right-hand side. A good challenge from Simon Dunn. Headed forward. Johnson will keep it in play for now. Hooks it on towards Murphy McVeigh. Wide open there in the Basingstoke half. Early towards the far post. Armsworth needs to deal with this. He only heads it up in the air and it's Simpson on the volley. And Armsworth got in the way to block it. He did really well to recover there. Basingstoke defender, and it will be a corner for South Park. And now Murphy McVeigh has gone over to scream at the referee and may well have talked himself into a booking. He was one of those involved in those midfield challenges a moment ago that the referee had a word with. I think it will be a booking, actually, the referee just having a word with the South Park man. Hodges playing peacekeeper as well. 66 minutes played, Basingstoke 2-1 up and doing all they can. They still need that favour from elsewhere. Murphy McVeigh is going to take the corner himself to chat with the referee, and Paul Hodges complete from the left-hand side, 2 arms up in the air to his teammates. Murphy McVeigh high towards the far post, good delivery, and it's headed high over the bar, and Basingstoke will have a goal kick. Strudley will wait for the ball to come back. It's in the crowd at the moment. 1,577 of them here today, hoping to see Basingstoke crowned champions and secure promotion. The referee is gesturing at somebody at that end of the pitch. Strudley has taken his goal kick short out to Upton again, moving a little bit more freely, I think. Out it goes to Winchcombe on the left-hand side, back in again to Upton. Upton goes across the back line as Simpson steps up to close Armsworth down, and he finds Johnson Schuster with time and space. Needs some options in midfield. He's not got much. He sends it to George Reid, who dropped in to help him out. Reid away from 2 challenges. Wilson wants it through. Reid doesn't quite get enough on the pass to take it beyond Faithorn, who clears for a Basingstoke throw-in well inside the South Park half. We've hit the midway point of the second period. Billy Upton has sat down again. It's not looking good for him. If it is to be playoffs for Basingstoke, they'll need him available for a potential tie against Northwood. That's who it would be as it stands. And on comes the Basingstoke physio to take a look at Billy Upton, who's tried to play on but hasn't looked comfortable. Basingstoke may need to get Nathan Smart ready. Being looked at, it is that right leg or right hip maybe that they're flexing. Players from both sides getting drinks on either side of the pitch. Time ticking away, and whatever happens from here, Basingstoke have had a fantastic season. The one-up system doesn't help, and it does mean that someone has to go into the playoffs who maybe feel they deserve to go up automatically. Over goes the signal that Billy Upton needs to be replaced, so Basingstoke will get Nathan Smart ready. Tutu Mitcham have a 4th now away at Uxbridge, the best result of the season potentially coming on the final day when it no longer matters. Back here, Basingstoke with concern over their central defender. Going away towards the touchline. He's jogging off, so perhaps a good sign that things aren't too bad for him. Basingstoke haven't actually got anyone ready to come on and replace him yet, so maybe they will try and get him back onto the pitch if they can. He is still waiting by the sideline, and Nathan Smart has sat down on the bench with his bright orange bib still on. And we'll be getting back underway without Basingstoke making a change. Temporarily down to 10, but I think they're going to wave Upton back on and see if he can carry on. The referee blows the whistle for Johnson Schuster to take a throw-in just inside the South Park half. Launches it away towards Brown. Closest to it, trying to hold off his man, DeAndre Brown. He's done well, taking the ball right into the corner. Crosses blocked and goes for a Basingstoke throw-in right by that corner flag as we hit the final 20 minutes of this game. Thrown in short towards George Reid, corner of the box. Hooks it back, looking for Dunn, but too heavy, and Murphy McVeigh will thump the ball clear across the pitch, looking for Finlay Johnson. Winchcombe uses his knee to knock it down to Brad Wilson on that left flank again. Long crossfield ball, looking for George Reid, but headed away, just a little bit too short. Ben Cook misjudges the bounce, but recovers the ball. Mistake by Johnson Schuster now, and Murphy McVeigh has it on the South Park left, under pressure. blocked by George Reed, who takes it away and now finds himself challenged. He couldn't get through the 3 players around him, and South Park have it back with Faithorn at the back. Healy now deep in midfield, going for a long diagonal into the corner. Foot race between Johnson and Winchcombe, but there should be enough on the ball to take it out of play, and Winchcombe is happy to see it out. Basingstoke throwing back by the corner flag. Substitution coming, but not a Basingstoke one, it seems. It will be South Park's third and final change. And it looks like it's Melford Simpson going off. Basingstoke have done a good job of limiting any impact from him. 70 minutes is all he gets, 71 really. And on in his place, well, we'll let you know in a minute. Callum Winchcombe ready to take a throw in for Basingstoke. It's DeAndre Date coming on for Melford Simpson. So that's all 3 South Park changes used now. Basingstoke haven't gone to the bench yet at all. Winchcombe looking to throw down the line. DeAndre Brown the target, trying to back into his man and being held all the way, and the free kick's going to be given against DeAndre Brown. As I say, that looked very 50-50, but the referee is saying that Brown had his arms reaching back around the South Park man, and so it'll be a free kick for the away side and a chance to equalise. Out on the right-hand side, close to the touchline, but in position to put this into the box. Dinked in towards the edge of the area. It'll be blocked and played away towards the touchline. Wilson will let that go. He expects a Basingstoke throw in, and the assistant on that far side agrees. And Winchcombe will take for Basingstoke, who still lead by 2-1, as do Walton and Hersham away at Thatcham, meaning that it's second place for Basingstoke as it stands. Long one down the line from the throw-in. DeAndre Brown knocks it inside towards Dunn, who's quickly challenged by McGee. Brown has it back and finds Wilson in a bit of space. Reed wants it early. Wilson sends it through. George Reed trying to get there. Tut had his positioning just right. The goalkeeper basically takes a touch, and he's almost lost it to Reed. The ball's gone loose. Stab goalwards. Good save. George Reed around the keeper and into the net. Basingstoke on their third, and it's George Reed. And that may just be an empty seal for Basingstoke. In the 79th minute, they did so well. Reed chased it down all the way. Challenged Basey, lost the ball, it went outside his box. Hodges tried to shoot directly. Basey made the save, but Reed got to the rebound and lifted it into the roof of the net to put Basingstoke 3-1 up. Basingstoke with a 2-goal cushion, and there will be plenty of attention here, turning more and more towards Thatcham. 16 minutes to play, Basingstoke up by 2 goals. South Park to restart again. Chertsey have got 1 goal back. William Montague doing what he can to try and make 3rd place in the league's Golden Boot rankings up against George Reed. He scored the penalty for Chertsey. Long ball forward, Winchcombe, it's a mistake, and Johnson's going to shoot, and it's just wide. That hit the stanchion behind the goal and deflected behind the net. Hearts and mouths for a moment, but it has gone wide. And Basingstoke are going to make their first change now. Brodie Peart is going to come on. And it might be DeAndre Brown going off. Ben Cook, maybe. It looks like it's Ben Cook. So DeAndre Brown will maybe drop back into a deeper midfield role. Basingstoke are actually making 2 changes. Nathan Smart is coming on as well. I wonder if Billy Upton's race is run. Brodie Peart will look to reprise that super sub role. You expect DeAndre Brown to sit deeper in midfield, Peart to go out wide, and then Wilson and Hodges to play those 9 and 10 roles. It is indeed Upton going off, so we'll find out from Dan Brownlee afterwards whether Upton couldn't continue or if they are just protecting him with a 2-goal cushion now. He did come back on and continue. So hopefully that's a sign that he is all right. Strudley with a goal kick, short out to Armsworth, who will take it away from Date and send it long down the right-hand side. George Reed underneath it with Tut. Tut wins the header and puts it out for a Basingstoke throw-in. Johnson Schuster will come forward and take. No hurry from him. Basingstoke 3-1 up, and they're doing their bit. Long throw from Johnson Schuster all the way back to Nathan Smart, getting his first touch. Winchcombe showing for it, but Smart goes all the way back to Strudley instead. Out towards Winchcombe, who will try and clear. It's blocked, and that will fall into the 6-yard box for Paul Strudley to grab the ball. Hamworth Villa have a second away at Chipstead. It's 2-0 there, and that's enough to pretty much ensure that they will be finishing fourth, which means that whoever finishes second will be playing Northwood at home in the playoffs. At the moment, that's Basingstoke, and it will be on the Wednesday night here. Simon Dunn with a sliding tackle to win the ball. Winchcombe on left back, who's going to go long for Peart on the run. What a ball by Winchcombe. Peart driving into the box on the left-hand side, now pulls it back towards Wilson. It's touched away from him. It'll fall towards Reid over the bar. From 20 yards, he opened his body out, tried to bend it, but got under the ball and didn't set it wide enough. And a good chance goes begging for Basingstoke. Brilliant ball from Winchcombe. The accuracy to get it inside the fullback and wide of the centre-back. The weight on the pass from long range to drop it into the perfect place for Peart as well, along the ground all the way. Peart's pullback was decent as well. The touch on it took it away from Wilson. But Reid unable to put it on target. South Park looking to build from the goal kick again. DeAndre Brown stepping up to press Murphy McVeigh. Forward they go up to the front line. Armsworth has been turned, but he recovers to make a challenge. It goes wide to Tutt. Tutt is going to cross from deep over the head of Smart. Winchcombe is there to head it into midfield. Hodges wants a free kick for a nudge in the back, doesn't get it. Murphy McVeigh, edge of the centre circle in the Basingstoke half, out to the right-hand side. 13 minutes to go, and a miscontrol by McElligott gives Basingstoke a throw-in on the halfway line. Winchcombe's throw short into Brad Wilson, gets it under control, tries to spin away from a challenge. Didn't manage to keep hold of the ball. It goes back in behind McElligott though, who's going to be chased by Brodie Peart. Back to base, who sends it quickly away first time, high in the air towards midfield. Dunn challenges Murphy McVeigh, doesn't win it. The flick on comes to Date, knocks it through the legs of DeAndre Brown, who recovers to slide in and win it. Hodges is there as well. It'll go loose. Wilson trying to get there away from a challenge. It's all a bit messy, and South Park have come away with the ball. Out to the left-hand side for Tutt, who goes back in field to Healy, getting on it deep in that area of the pitch. George Reid is going to win it back here, and he has done. Close to the centre circle, but well done by Murphy McVeigh to come and tidy up again for the away side. Forward they come over the halfway line down the left. It's Tutt on the ball, plays it down the line, mix up in communication, and Johnson Schuster takes it away. Reid looks over his shoulder as he turns, cuts inside, and he's lost the ball as well now. Poor ball to win it back to Basingstoke, and Reid on the run, wide to Johnson Schuster. He's got Reid ahead of him, Wilson out to the left, Johnson Schuster going right to left horizontally across the pitch. He does well to find space and find Brodie Peart coming inside, close to the centre circle. Bend it wide, looking for Hodges. He's bent it too close to Ford though, and Ford will bring it away. Johnson Schuster shepherds him out wide, and he turns and finds Murphy McVeigh, who goes back deep in midfield again. Dave Tarpey has a goal for Leatherhead. They're 2-1 up at home to Binfield. Two teams that will be finishing just outside the playoffs this season. South Park building down the right. This is McElligott coming forward. Laid back again to McGee. Tries to thread it through towards Date. Challenged by Dunn. It will fall kindly again for McGee. Turns away from Dunn and goes right across. This is the centre circle now for Drinkwater coming forward. Into midfield. Basingstoke sat very deep in a big gap, allowing Tutt acres of space on the left. Now he takes one touch on the byline, pulls it back, blocked by Reid, and it will go away for a throw-in by the corner flag. Basingstoke a little bit fortunate there. Big gap between Reid and Johnson Schuster, neither of whom was anywhere near Tutt, who was set free. Reid doing well to get back and block the cross. Just over 10 to go. Basingstoke with a 2-goal cushion here, but really hoping for a goal at Thatcham. It's going to be a long throw from the left-hand side again. Faithorn is forward once more, goes towards him. Armsworth gets something on it, will go out towards the corner of the box. Murphy McVeigh will lay it wide again for Healy to cross. He sent that right across the pitch and out for a Basingstoke throw on the opposite side. Did not get that right at all. Winchcombe will take it, and there's no hurry from him. We have ticked over the 80-minute point of this game now. Long throw-in down the line. Peart wins the first flick on. Hodges battling for the second. Healy jumps in for the challenge and puts it out for another Basingstoke throw, moving forward a few yards. Winchcombe takes the throw in. Wilson drops in to receive the ball. Gives it back to Winchcombe again. Floats it down the line once more. Looking for Peart. Across comes Faithorn alive to it this time. Out for another Basingstoke throw. Again, a bit further forward into the South Park half as they gradually advance down the left-hand side. Peart with the throw. Winchcombe with the throw back towards Smart, and now it's Peart, and Peart will try and send it across the pitch towards George Reed, who's in space on the right. It's deflected, it'll fall kind now for Wilson, who hits it early. That was speculative, to say the least, from a good 30 yards. It was opportunistic, perhaps, but doesn't catch it well enough and sends it wide of the near post. Faithorn receives from the goal kick out to the right edge of the box, left-footed, a long ball forward. Date the target. Nathan Smart is there, heads it against the back of Date, and DeAndre Brown tidies up. Armsworth lifts it forward from the back. Faithorn underneath it for South Park, gets a shout to take it down and uses his knee before lifting it high up in the air again. Smart underneath it, his header goes backwards, and Winchcombe will try and defend. He's actually played that against Finley Johnson and got a throw in for Basingstoke deep in their own half of the pitch. 8 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It's Basingstoke 3, South Park 1. Results-wise, Basingstoke can't do anything more. They need Thatcham to score. It's 2-1 at the moment to Walton and Hersham. Long throw here from Winchcombe again towards Peart, who's being held. He goes to ground, no free kick given. Hodges battling away. Peart gets up, but neither of them able to win the ball for Basingstoke. And South Park will play it back towards Tutt in the centre circle and back again for Drinkwater. Drinkwater has it again. Basingstoke pressing, trying to take it off him. Will go all the way back to Basey. Wilson will chase him down. And out it goes to the right-hand side. Faithorn, closed down by Hodges. He sends it long over the head of Winchcombe. Nathan Smart is there, takes it down, finds Winchcombe pinned into the touchline, plays it down the line and gets a throw in for Basingstoke as it's deflected out.
People are all over the world, supposedly.
Winchcombe looking down the line. Hodges dropped in short, but he's looking for the longer throw here. He'll throw it in now to Hodges as he runs away. Hodges penalised for a hand in the back of the South Park man marking him, and it will be a free kick to the away side on the halfway line on the right. Murphy McVeigh will take this as South Park pile players forward. 7 up just outside the Basingstoke box as a free kick is launched in, high up in the air. Armsworth is up highest, wins the first header. The second one goes back towards the box. Armsworth there again, knocks it clear towards the halfway line. Murphy McVeigh with their first header, and DeAndre Brown has to get a toe to the ball. Simon Dunn as well, and the handball given against Simon Dunn, who had a split second to react to that, really. It's unfortunate there. The ball just knocked against him by a teammate from close range. Free kick given to South Park, very central, about 35 yards out. Borderline range in terms of shooting and putting the ball into the box. Healy, Faithorn all forward, Drinkwater as well. They all want the ball into the box from Murphy McVeigh. 2 in the wall for Basingstoke in case he does try to go for goal. We've got 6 minutes of normal time to go. Murphy McVeigh will take this, and he's stepping back from it as if he does mean to shoot. We'll see what he goes for. The whistle goes. He dinks it far post. DeAndre Brown gets his head to it. It's up in the air rather than away. George Reed stoops and it will fall eventually for Strudley. I'm surprised this free kick wasn't given there. George Reed stooped to get his head to it but got a boot in the face. And the referee right there. Happy to let those feet be raised at around, as I say, Reed was stooping but still around sort of stomach to chest height. George Reed being looked at for the moment, but he is up onto his feet again and the ball will be thrown in. Back to Basingstoke for them to restart things. Strudley will do so as the ball is dropped at his feet, in fact, rather than thrown back in by a South Park player. He'll look at Nathan Smart, decides against throwing it that way, waves his teammates upfield. We are into the final 5 minutes of normal time now. Walton and Hersham top of the league on goal difference as it stands. Strudley thumps the kick away. Wilson will try and challenge, but Drinkwater in position to win it. Murphy McVeigh chests it down into midfield and it's lifted beyond Simon Dunn. Armsworth touches it down. Brown won't be able to get there. Out wide it goes. South Park have it back with Healy pinned into the touchline by Brown, who makes the challenge. Ball goes out for a throw-in and the referee gives it South Park's way. Sutton Common Rovers relegated As it stands, Bedfont immersed them into the relegation playoffs. Touches forward to take. He's actually going to come back and take it off Ford. All the way back they go. Drinkwater gets it under control, turns away from Wilson, looks down the left-hand side, over the halfway line himself. Shown into a group of Basingstoke players, but he gets the pass through, and this is Ford now on the run in the Basingstoke half. Good block by Nathan Smart to stop his pass getting through, and out it goes to the left for Winchcombe, away down the line. Wilson can't get there, it's inside him, and South Park have it again at the back. Bealey reacting angrily to a challenge from Hodges as play goes on. Winchcombe steps in, the referee says no foul. South Park have it again at the back. In it goes to Murphy McVeigh around the corner as Basingstoke midfield steps up and the ball goes beyond them. Nathan Smart wants his keeper to come for this. In the end, he's going to have to sit out for a goal kick himself, and he does so. Time continues to tick away, but it's a bigger problem for Basingstoke at Thatcham than it is here. Armsworth on the way forward. Long crossfield pass, looking for Brad Wilson, edge of the centre circle, prods it back to Hodges. Dunn wants it, Dunn gets it, space in the centre circle, lays it back for George Reed, who's already on the run. Going through the South Park half, wide to the left into the box, and puts it across, looking for Wilson on the stretch. He can't quite reach it, and it will go for a goal kick. Really good ball, but Wilson just not quite able to get there. Be a goal kick for South Park. Played short out to the right-hand side for Faithorn again. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Back into Basey again. He comes out with his goal and plays it to the left-hand side for Drinkwater to step forward. Basingstoke sitting off. Bedfont have a fourth at home to Guernsey, but still reliant on results elsewhere. DeAndre Brown has got it, and I think there may well have been a Thatcham goal as Jack Miller goes absolutely mental. So does the rest of the crowd. They're heading towards stoppage time for Thatcham. He was at confirmation of that in a moment, but that was Chairman Jack Miller screaming that you may well have heard. Thatcham have in stoppage time scored. It's 2-2, and Basingstoke at top of the league as it stands. Time ticking away both here and there. Are Basingstoke going to win the title? Are Basingstoke going up automatically? The celebrations here out of absolutely nowhere are mental. You wouldn't believe it. The railway end is bouncing again. Sam Argent is coming on for Basingstoke. He's probably never had such a great reaction to being subbed on before. We've got 90 seconds plus stoppage time here. Everybody around the ground will know what's going on. Brad Wilson is going off here to be replaced by Sam Argent. North would have a third. They've made things safe, you'd think, at home to Marlow. It's injury time at Thatcham. The railway end is bouncing. Basingstoke are on course for a league title if results hold out for a few more minutes. South Park looking to change that here. Nathan Smart with a header away from a long free kick. He's gone down. Winchcombe goes down as well. Still no free kick given. It's a throw-in to South Park. We're waiting for full time from Thatcham, hoping no further goals go in. Foul throw is flagged for. Basingstoke will get this, and they'll be able to take it away. A 90th minute goal for Ashley Howell may well have sent Basingstoke up. We have 30 seconds plus stoppage time here. They are in injury time there. If it's full time there, Basingstoke just have to avoid conceding twice here in stoppage time to win the league and go up automatically back to step 3. Basingstoke have a free kick here, which Nathan Smart is taking a long time overtaking. We are almost into stoppage time here. Smart is taking his time over this as we do go into stoppage time now. Long forward into the corner. Brodie Pitt keeps it in play. It goes out. Goal kick is given. Looked like the right decision to me, although Basingstoke will complain. We're waiting for full time to come in from Thatcham. Still 2-2 there. Forward comes Drinkwater, barges Argent off the ball, almost loses it to George Reed. Argent wants it as well, and the referee's going to give the free kick against Basingstoke. A really soft decision, but it'll be a South Park ball. South Park playing, left to right it goes, out to McGilligot. Long one down the line. Smart defending against Date. He's got the ball at the moment. He might go to ground here and get a free kick. He does go down and the referee gives it rather than the assistant. 1 minute of stoppage time gone here. Everybody on the Basingstoke bench is up on their feet. Ezio Toure is over there with them, coming to watch his former team potentially secure promotion. They still play at Thatcham. Still we play here. Strudley with a free kick, bombs it away over the halfway line. Argent goes up, wins the header, it will drop in midfield. Dunn goes up, beaten to it by Murphy McVeigh. Winchcombe wins it, clips his head in low to get there. Argent holds off his man. Basingstoke have it back, Sam Argent still battling though. It will fall for Hodges in behind for Peart down the left-hand side. The flag staying down for now. Peart cuts back onto his right foot. Can he finish it? It's deflected wide for a corner. 5-0 Bedfont now. I feel for them, they've done all they can, but they need help elsewhere. As do Basingstoke, but they're getting it. Full times are starting to come in, but not yet from Thatcham. Basingstoke will take their time over this corner. 2 minutes of stoppage time are done here. Prayers going on around me that Thatcham can keep hold of that 2-2 scoreline. Basingstoke keeping the ball in the corner. They've got another corner. This place is going to light up if Thatcham can hold on to that. Bedfont at the 6th against Guernsey now. There's celebrations on the far side. Full-time everybody is celebrating. You've got stewards down on the front jumping. You've got Conservative fans in here just throwing their arms around in celebration. The flares are going off again. Basingstoke players still have to finish this game. All they need to do now is not concede twice in whatever's left of stoppage time. 3 minutes have gone here. Long ball forward that Nathan Smart wins the header for. DeAndre Brown on the loose ball, volleys it forward. A blue flare on the pitch. Basey collects the ball. The referee's going to stop the game because of that flare on the pitch. Surely seconds left. 3 minutes of stoppage time have gone. Railway End absolutely bouncing now. It's packed behind that goal. And Basingstoke are surely seconds away from a promotion, from a return to step 3 without needing the playoffs. The referee is in discussion with his assistant. He's putting a single finger up. I don't know if that's 1 minute left or telling Argent to wait before the restart, before closing the goalkeeper down. Long kick away into the corner for South Park as they try to get something back. The referee blows for a corner to South Park. It is indeed full time. Thatcham have drawn with Walton and Hersham. It's 2-2. The referee is going to spark a promotion party when he blows for full time here. Into the box it goes from the corner, and Brodie Peart will volley that away, and the referee puts the whistle to his lips. And Basingstoke Town are promoted. Basingstoke are back in step 3. There are fans on the pitch. We saw Walton and Hersham have their title celebrations 3 weeks ago. It's our turn now. Basingstoke have won the league, and they will be playing step 3 football next season. 3-1 victory here is enough. Simon Dunn and Nathan Smart screaming up at the sky in celebration as the pitch fills. Fans are everywhere. The 1,577 will take a long, long time to clear from the pitch. Walton and Hersham will be in the playoffs. They will